Hello everyone, it's Brett here, Lionheart84, and I thought it was worth doing a little tasting on these because it's quite an unusual time of year to get persimmons, ripe persimmons, particularly as this variety is quite uncommon to buy here. These are actually Fuyus, and the reason they caught my eye at the local corner shop, there's a little greengrocer's just round the corner, is because they normally have Rojo Brillant or Triumph, which of course is the Sharon fruit, but it's quite rare to see Fuyu. I've given them a wash. And what's surprising about these, and obviously the fact that they're ripe at this time of the year, they must be grown in the southern hemisphere. So I had a look at the box just to confirm they were Fuyu and not of another variety. And these, unbelievably, are all the way from Brazil. And you wonder really how they can afford to ship them or keep them in good condition. They were £1.49 each, so I suppose that's currently at current exchange rates. I haven't looked recently, but I'm going to hazard a guess that's roughly around $3 Australian and probably about $1.80 US. I would think about 170, 180 euros. I think, but I thought we'd cut these open. I'd cut one of these open to have a look inside and see what they taste like. They are starting to soften. I'm assuming, I mean, the first thing to know about Fuyu is it should be non-astringent anyway, so I don't think they'll have any need to have gas treated these with carbon dioxide like they do the astringent ones, but they're quite a substantial side. Kind of looks like a big beef tomato, doesn't it, when you look at them? This one's a little bit firmer, but they are a very good sized fruit, certainly a lot bigger than the Sharon fruit we get here, i.e. Triumph, and a different shape of course to the Rojo Brillant, which do vary a lot in size from quite small to quite substantial specimens depending on where they've been grown. But it just seems amazing to me they can afford to fly these all the way from Brazil and yet sell them for £1.50, and there's probably 2 or 3 lots of people making a profit on it. So I'm going to flip the camera around and we'll open them up and just see what these ones are like. So here we go, welcome back. I flip the camera around. So I'm going to do this one, the smaller one of the two. It's a little bit riper. As I said, you can eat these crunchy anyway. I'm just going to cut them in half so we can have a look at and see what the inside is. Actually, I'm going to cut it acrossways, which I don't normally do from the point of view of eating them, but just to see the pattern they often have inside them. Have a look at that. You wonder why it's not called a star apple when you see the shape of that. Really beautiful. Okay, so let's just cut this in quarter, see what this is like. Much better than the thing I've managed to grow here so far. Reasonable level of sweetness. The skin's a little bit tough on these bigger fruits, but it is perfectly edible. You could let these go really squashy and then eat them like a jelly out of the skin, leave the skin behind, but at this stage this has got quite a nice softness to it. Nice refreshing zingy flavour. Just, I would say, interestingly, just the slightest hint of astringency, surprisingly. I mean, they're meant to be completely non-astringent, but even non-astringent persimmons can sometimes have tannins in, depending on where they've been grown. Of course, as they ripen, the tannins will disappear, but I mean, it's very minor, but I would say it's in the skin. I don't think they're as sweet as the astringent ones when the astringent ones are fully ripe. But of course, it will depend on personal preferences. I mean, I don't actually like them when they're ultra sweet, and I don't particularly like them ultra soggy, so I like the fact that they treat the astringent ones with carbon dioxide so you can eat them a little bit with a bit of crunch to it. When they get like jelly, it doesn't really appeal to me so much to eat them, but I wouldn't waste them. I still eat them if they over ripen in the fruit bowl. But the other one's a little bit crispier. I'll probably eat it the next day or so. But yeah, it's definitely some astringency, very slight, and it's in the skin, because I was eating a piece of skin last there and I could taste it. It's not giving me dry mouth, but it's just a hint of astringency. If you're in any doubt about the astringency and you're not enjoying it, I would suggest, as this one is quite soft, you take a spoon, it's soft enough to eat. The other one won't be soft enough to do this. Yeah, zero astringency at all. So there must be some remnants of tannins in the skin of these Fuyu. I mean, it's not necessarily always the case. It will depend on the persimmon, but they might have been picked very underripe, so they could be shipped abroad. And there's two problems with picking them very underripe, even for good quality persimmons like these, and that is there's always a risk of some tannins in the fruit if they're picked underripe, and also they're not likely to be as sweet because they haven't been on the tree long enough to get the sugars into the fruit, which is why if you've got a good climate you're better off to grow these fruits yourself, because they're going to be much better quality. Anyway, that was I just thought I'd interest a few people, because it is quite rare to get the Fuyu here, and the fact that it's come from all the way down in Brazil, the southern hemisphere. It's travelled, well, I don't know how many miles it is. It's probably like 8,000 or 9,000 miles, I would imagine, but all I know is it's a long way. I'll have to look it up anyway. So thanks for watching the video. I hope that was of interest to some people. Please give me a thumbs up, share the video if you think anybody would like to see a Fuyu tasting in the UK, not a homegrown one, I hasten to add. Please do, as I said, share the video, subscribe to my channel if anything that I grow interests you. I do try and grow some fairly unusual fruits for the UK, and remember to hit the bell if you want to know when new videos come out, as that will I'll then do updates on well, all sorts of things to keep you interested, hopefully. I'll see you all in the next video. Brett out for now.